No, it's just the rabbis. I'm not a rabbi.
All right, Mike. Step over there.
Do you want any of us in front of this?
Well, Michael's definitely taller than yours. Yeah, you should go. Like, yeah, shorter people.
Come in the back here with me. Are you going to mask yourself or just going to with masks?
No,
Let's take it.
What do we do? Are we close enough together?
Yeah, you need to This is looking good.
Great.
Amazing, everyone.
Smile with your eyes.
Yeah. I think this looks good. Okay, please.
Ouais, non, mais nécessairement, je vais voir.
Yeah, it looks great. Isaiah and Micah both proclaimed, "They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore." Lo Yisrael goyim, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo Yisrael goyim, lo yilmedu od milchama.
Okay, let's stop it.
They both the tools, they cannot be prevented from listening to their presentation. So it's a place of tolerance and respect that supposes that you will not make an happening without informing us in advance. It's not respecting us. We need to learn to respect each other. And even if it's a message of peace, it is truly shared even by our Secretary General that calls for humanitarian ceasefire. It should not happen this way. I hope the security will be informed. You will be escorted out if you go like this. So please stop.
Designated as New York City to be the homeland of the Lenape Hoking, who were violently displaced as a result of European settler colonialism over the course of 400 years. The Lenape are a diasporic people that remain closely connected with this land and are its rightful stewards. We also recognize that New York City has one of the largest urban Native American and indigenous populations in the United States. As Jews, we know the importance of remembering our ancestors and our traditions. Many of us have also felt the violence of displacement, diaspora, and colonization. We honor the indigenous people who lived on and continue to live on and steward this land.
After the atrocities of World War II and the Holocaust, the UN was established to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war and to reaffirm faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of the human person. The UN must live up to these commitments now. We are Rabbis for Ceasefire. As rabbis, As Jews, our communities have directly experienced the horrors that led to the founding of the UN after the Holocaust. As a granddaughter of 3 Holocaust survivors whose entire families were murdered, saving succeeding generations from war feels personal. We are here at the UN in prayer and determination to support the UN to act for immediate, permanent ceasefire in Gaza and to demand that the U.S. gets out of the way of the UN taking urgent action to save lives. The United Nations General Assembly already voted with an overwhelming majority for ceasefire. But the United States is thwarting the efforts of the Security Council to take meaningful action to realize ceasefire. The U.S. is standing in the way of the international community taking action to save lives. We are here to remind the Biden administration the world says, ceasefire now! We are here because the UN is the appropriate place for meaningful action for ceasefire and accountability for Israel's war crimes. We are here to encourage all member states to reaffirm and recommit the goals of the United Nations Charter and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, offering not just words of solidarity with Palestinians, but meaningful action to save lives.
We rise, humbly hearted, rise, won't be divided, rise, with spirit to guide us, rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, we rise, all of the children rise, elders with wisdom rise, ancestors surround us rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, we rise, on the wreckage rise, with tears and with courage rise, fighting for life we rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here. Blessed are you, eternal God, who has bound us to hope. Shelasanu asirei tikva.
We are rabbis for ceasefire. We are here in pain and in grief as Israel is continuing its brutal assault on the Palestinians in Gaza without mercy. We are here today to pray for compassion and mercy and to honor all life. We are here today at the UN in this time of profound crisis to pray, to plead to God, to willing realize ceasefire now. We are inspired by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, many of us regard it as a sacred text. We are here to uplift the vision of that document as we believe that justice and human rights for all is the only path to peace. We demand that it be upheld in word and action by all member states, including and most urgently the United States and Israel. We will now begin a ritual when we will lift up the articles of the Declaration of Human Rights in Jewish texts that reverberate with the same urgent call for peace and justice. These sacred texts, the text of the United Nations, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and the text of Jewish tradition, reflect the basis of our call for ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
International human rights law was made necessary in large part because of the atrocities committed by the Nazis during World War II.
Are you video? I told you not to video record, sir.